है छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की भोली सी आशा, चांद तारों को छूने की आशा, आसमानों में उड़ने की आशा। दिल है छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की भोली सी आशा।
Shiva, aged 18, has exceptional mathematical abilities and loves reading books, surfing the net, and listening to music. He has a large group of friends. Aditya, a 19-year-old genius, is gifted with interpersonal and outstanding logical, mathematical, and linguistic intelligence. He loves to make new friends. Lavanya loves skating and displaying her prowess in bodily kind aesthetics. She hopes to be a gymnast one day. Swaminathan is 21 years of age. He loves painting and playing with colors to create new artistic things. His dream is to be a famous artist. Michael has exceptional comprehension skills and loves going to school. He is always surrounded by his friends. Bhavna is a graduate. She is a voracious reader and loves reading fiction and philosophical books. She likes listening to music in her free time. Like Aditya, Shiva, and Michael, she too has a big circle of friends and is very popular amongst them. They have one more thing common in them. Shiva, Aditya, Lavanya, and Swaminathan have autism, and Michael and Bhavna have cerebral palsy. Despite their disabilities, these persons have proven that they are no less than the non-disabled persons of their age. Disability cannot stop them from achieving their dreams. Their potential is recognized because of the understanding shown by their parents, their teachers, and their friends. We need to understand them and give them the opportunities to excel in life. According to the current ratified UN Convention, it is to promote, protect, and ensure the full and equal enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedom by all persons with disabilities and to promote respect for their inherent dignity. UNCRPD also acknowledges the right to family life and access to relationships for the persons with disabilities.
The UN Convention for the Rights of People with Disabilities is a very, very important instrument which India is a signatory, and also it has been ratified. So India is committed in many ways to see that it is implemented. And it actually makes a paradigm shift in the way thinking of about disability in the world. And the UN Convention acknowledges the right of family life and relationships.
It is not the charity or mercy that binds two people together in a relationship, but it's the love, care, and understanding which acts like a force to strengthen the bonding in every relationship. And why to deprive the person with some disability of love, friendship, and care? Like us, they also have the right and freedom of communication, education, socialization, and having healthy relationships with respect and a little bit of understanding.
Relationships, what does it mean? Because for people with disabilities, It's a very core issue because people with disabilities, one of the greatest oppression that they have or they suffer from is that of social isolation. Because they may have special need, like they may have orthopedic mobility problem or visual handicap or hearing handicap, people with disabilities feel that they are not normal, as the word is, and so they tend not to meet with people, mix with people, and they stay at home. So this leads to social isolation, and social isolation leads to a very people getting depressed or a feeling of low self-worth. And to add to this, also people outside feel that if you have a disability, then they have very low expectations. They don't think you can go to school or college or hold a job. Therefore, the relationships always suffer. And relationships are very, very important if we are to live in this world and live together in a community. In order to help the growth of relationships, access to relationships, the UN Conventions talks about this.
A little soft, a little close, not too far. All I need, all I need, all I need is to be free. A little sweet, a little sound, a little close, not too far. A little sweet, a little sound, a little close, not too far. All I need, all I need, all I need is to be free.
The National Trust Act also is an act of parliament which was enacted to answer the question, what happens to my child when I'm no more? So once again it's talking about safety nets and support systems for people with disabilities. And it's the core issue in the National Trust Act is one of legal guardianship. But many families and parents have problems about whom should we choose to be the legal guardian? Who can I put this burden on? Who will take care of my child? So where they find they don't have answers to these questions. Because the answer is not there because of their attitude about thinking that disability is a burden, because of the way we look at disability, people with disabilities are not enabled or empowered, so they are always they're not able to participate. So if we have to build the capability of people with disabilities, if we can do that, if we can build their capacity, their potential, then this question will take on a different tone. It will not be about a burden, it will be about a privilege, it will be about a support, not about how does a disabled person is not an inanimate kind of a person who has to be taken care of, but can support themselves, and we need to create supported networks. So what is being empowered and what is more empowered, and what is an empowered person really? What are the verbs which make a person empowered? Like if a person is more proactive rather than reactive. Reactive means you have to do something because you've been commanded to do it or you're forced to do it, so you do it. But proactive is when you make up your own mind, think about it, and decide to do a certain act, or about being open to change, or about taking responsibility for yourself, or about being assertive, being able to make up your mind. What do you want to do? How do you do it? All these lead to empowerment, and only a person who has an empowered personality is able to go ahead and find out what is their strengths, what do they want to work, what do they want to do with their life, and not just lead a life where everybody else is making decisions for them. That is the main problem with disabled people. They cannot sustain relationships because they've been isolated. They haven't learned how to grow up with people, how to talk to people. They're generally very emotionally immature. They start get very upset easily. They're not able to cope with a relationship. So for that you need a lot of mingling, meeting, and all these different methods of making a person empowered. Once that is done, once your strengths are found, then you can go ahead and participate in the community, participate in your family, have relationships of friendships, partake in various activities for leisure and recreation, etc. Generally, it is assumed that people with disabilities do not have a right to their own family life, that they cannot get married, let's say. But actually, once a person is empowered and they're able to work, come out into the community, we have some fine examples of young people who got married, who are happily living and have their own families. I have examples here of Dhanashekhar and Devi, who are two young people. They've been friends when they were young but have now got married, even though the families didn't think that should happen because of Dhanashekhar's disability. Or you have Vishnupriya, who has cerebral palsy with a hearing impairment, and her mother was always worried who will marry her. But today you have Krishnan, who thinks it's an honor for him and a privilege to be married to her, and they have a little baby boy. So there are many examples where when a person with disabilities has been able to build for themselves that strength and find for themselves what is their potential and how will they realize it, then relationships also becomes part of this whole journey. It's important for us as teachers and parents and rehab professionals to remember that we work with people, and we should not overprotect or smother people. So as our children, as their wings dry, as they grow up and they're ready to go out and become independent, just because they have a disability, we should not keep it back. As their wings dry, I think we should allow them to fly and to become as independent possible.